who started it. Just because you don't start a gang doesn't mean you're not a leader.
Yeah, but Mr. Zachary also told you throughout this entire meeting with you that Jeffrey Williams was not involved in the killing of Donovan Thomas. In fact, he learned about it later. Right?
Yes, he said that.
And that Mr. Williams was not involved, as we just said, in the shooting of the Little Wayne bus tour, right?
Yes, he stated that.
And shout out to Danielle Farrow, who says, watching this trial yesterday totally turned me on Judge Whitaker. Yeah, it's interesting to see the difference between Monday Judge Whitaker, which we're actually going to get into later, and this, I guess, Tuesday Judge Whitaker. It's like they're two different people. Or Wednesday Judge Whitaker. Oh, Kel Bell said they did bring it up later. Yeah, because this is, I mean, she's just, Detective Gaither's doing too much. Horrible. This is never gonna end. Ugh. The Darth Vader breathing. It's just obnoxious at this point. And it's really, I mean, they could argue. I'll be interested to see what they argue. We'll get into it later if she says it later. That's funny that they... She's gonna say horrible again? Jeez. Yeah, no wonder they were pissed. Like, she keeps making these comments. She's being argumentative. Telling Max, well, you should have asked him that when he was on the stand. What? But lady, get out of here. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think witnesses are supposed to be unbiased, which is fine, but she's supposed to tell the truth. When she's not answering questions, being argumentative, Judge Whitaker should have said something. But I think by this point, Judge Whitaker was checked out or just ran out of gas. I don't know. Thank you to everybody who's just joining and all of y'all who like the video so far, too. All right, well, we've got, I mean, we could skip ahead. I don't know what we're doing here. There we go. Brian Steele's up there.
May I? No, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Winfrey. I'd like to ask you your background, and if I'm getting too far afield, just say it's beyond your knowledge, okay? When you were doing policing and you'd obtain surveillance video images from, let's say, a business or a house, okay? I want you to focus on that. I heard you say today that you did that for the vault, the studio vault, when you watched the 10 cars go. You know what I'm talking about?
I didn't say I did it. I said investigator Dennis did.
Okay, you didn't see you didn't view the...
I viewed it, yes.
Okay. Now, in 2015, that's the date I'm focused on, were there different types of memorializing or capturing of the images, whereby some business can hold the data or the images for 30 days, some would hold them for a year, some 15 days? Would it just depend on the particular product that they used?
I'm not aware of any. I don't have any technological background or things to obtain video to know how long a particular system holds information.
Okay. How about this? From your experience, though, could you get a video, let's say that you were investigating something that happened a month ago? Would you go to the scene where there may be a video camera and see whether it holds the 30 days or more? Have you been able to capture that type of distance, that type of time?
I've investigated cases where sometimes it holds it for 30 days, sometimes 3 days, sometimes a year. It's all dependent on that particular system or if we're talking about a specific investigation.
And when the system, we're talking about hold the images, at some point, because of storage, and if you don't know, just say I don't know, the storage, sometimes some images fall off. It's too old to keep on the storage. Is that your experience?
I'm not an expert in technological video expert extraction, so I can't answer that.
Let's not talk just from your experience.
See, this is, yeah, they definitely should have ramp things up with her because she's not going to cooperate. She's not answering the question. He said, in your experience. Come on, Detective Gaither. God dang.
To keep on the storage. Is that your experience?
I'm not an expert in technological video expert extraction, so I can't answer that.
Let's not talk just from your experience. Is there a date where it just can't hold? The people tell you, well, you find out it's too old. The data won't hold. That's what I'm asking you.
Objection, foundation.
I'm asking on her experiences.
Overruled.
Yes. Come on.
If you're asking me if video has been overwritten, is that what,
Sure.
basically what you're asking me? Yes,
so.
I've heard of that, yes.
I think so. Okay. Have you ever dealt with a system
Finally, a
that
straight
after,
answer.
let's say, I'm using an example, 2 weeks, all the data is overwritten?
Objection, vague and relevance as to a system.
Overruled.
When you mean dealt with the system, what do you mean?
When you're investigating, or your own system, but have experienced that all the data is gone, 2 weeks from that day, it's all gone and it just starts brand new? Or is it more of a rolling system?
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Let me ask a better way.
What? She better not.
I'm just using dates, okay? January 1, 2015. I'll use 15. There's a business, McDonald's.
Okay.
It holds the image, I'm making all this up, holds the image for 2 weeks, January 14th, 2015. Okay?
Okay.
Have you ever had experience where on the midnight, going into January 15th, 2015, everything for the last 2 weeks, in my example, from January 1st forward to January 14th at 11:59 is wiped out and we start anew? Or is it that certain parts of the system that keep rolling over, it just makes room and you keep adding the days, if you know?
I've been told on occasions, a system like I just stated, if it's longer than their saving period or cloud period, it'll overwrite itself. It won't save it. I've been told that, if that's what you,
Okay.
if I'm answering your questions.
Okay, no, that's fine. All right. Let's go back to the surveillance I just asked you about McDonald's. You and Detective Dennis interview Kenneth Copeland, and I'm just focused on the last time, or one of the last times, June 10th, 2015. Okay?
Okay.
I know Detective Thorpe is there, and ATF agents, but from that interview, you and Detective Dennis go down to McDonald's to inquire about their surveillance. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you got the number and the name of the person who, and you gave it to Detective Thorpe, the homicide detective on this case, to follow up.
Yes, sir.
Were you ever told by Detective Thorpe that he had already gone to the McDonald's on or about the 11th or 12th of January 2015 to look at that video?
Objection, that calls for hearsay and relevance as to whether or not Detective Thorpe ever told her that.
They're working the
He
case?
testified, right?
Yes.
Overruled.
I was
Brian
not told.
Steele is great at asking questions.
Now, you were asked about truly humble under God. You remember those questions earlier today? Or that question earlier today?
Yes, sir.
Tell the jurors and tell us where, in all of your work on this case involving Mr. Williams, and any time, where you ever had an interview, a conversation where you asked, or someone in your presence asked, or someone told you what THUG stands for.
There's never been a question asked of me.
With regards to
Interesting.
the repost, and if you need to see it, please just tell me. I just have to refresh my
You said
memory.
the what?
Repost. And if you need to see it, we're going to show it to you. January 26, 2015. Mr. Garlington, you helped the jurors see it previously. It starts out with Mr. Williams. I'm not quoting. I think it is a quote, but I don't want to quote. I don't get it. People lie to their kids, lie to their mothers, lie to their... You know, okay. Do you have the number that is?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
see
have
her?
just one moment.
Love starts leaning back like this.
Thank you.
And shout out to Amy. The awesome, amazing Amy in there, dropping a link to Cat's channel. Thank you, Amy.
You want the one with your client? That the one with the one with
It's Mr. Garlington.
Here we go.
I'm going to, the state is helping me out, Ms. Hilton's helping me out. Can I ask other questions over in the meantime? Okay. Well, They're helping me out, so we'll come
Yes,
right
sir.
back to it. Okay. Do you remember being shown State's Exhibit number 526YY, if you could help me out, Mr. Atkins? And with the court's permission, this is already in evidence. And just orient yourself with it if you don't mind. This is already in evidence. It's the number I just announced. And do you remember this?
Why? I didn't think that's in evidence. Is
I
that what
hope-
you said?
I believe that's, you admitted it.
I said it would be admitted if tendered. I don't believe it was tendered.
It was tendered today, in my...
No.
Okay, I'm moving on. Thank you, Your Honor. Okay. This, it's been called several things. Gang war, beef. You testified earlier, and please correct me. I do not look into your transcript. This started from your investigation approximately fall 2014. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
All right. Now, you have information through your investigation that the fall, well, let's establish the fall. Approximately we're in the fall now, September, October, November, December, something like that. 2014, would you say that's the fall?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you
You're gonna
know
argue that?
that
Jeez.
Jeffrey Williams was with Donovan Thomas, friendly with Donovan Thomas, in the months of September, October, November, December, January 2000, well, those are 2014 going into 2015. Fair to say?
I don't know that for certain.
You were told that.
Not necessarily, no.
You saw pictures? I'm sorry if there's an objection.
I don't.
You saw pictures,
Saw pictures of what?
Instagram pictures, postings, concert flyers
Of what, sir?
And
of Mr. Williams and Mr. Donovan Thomas together.
During those times of October, November?
Fall 2014, September, October, November, December, going into beginning of January.
I don't recall.
Your Honor, that was really compound, so.
Overruled.
I don't recall seeing any pictures during that time. You mean posted?
Sure.
I'm asking.
Social media.
Hold on. I'm asking you, do you mean, did I see pictures of them in October, September, December of 2014? Like at that exact time?
Are you asking
Yes.
if she saw the pictures then, or if she eventually saw pictures from them?
The second one.
If I eventually saw pictures of them, I believe I have that it was videos or something like that.
Okay. And same question, though.
Yes, sir.
Not as complicated. Rich Homie Kwan, you know who that is, Mr. Lamar?
I've heard of them, yes.
Rest in peace.
Same thing, performing with Mr. Williams in the fall 2014, going into January 2015.
I don't know of exact dates, no.
All right. Okay. Now, Mr. Zachary told you, when we watched it, he told you that this was really a battle, whatever word, war, with, he called him Woody, but Kenneth Copeland, and he said Shell but Mr. Kelvin Watts. True?
Yes.
And that Jeffrey and Donovan Thomas were friends during this. True?
I don't recall him saying they were friends.
Okay. I'm going to get you some. Do you know the transcript, or would you like to see the recording?
Whatever you want to show me.
Y'all really think she doesn't recall? I mean, come on. It's being difficult. And I'll be reading super chats shortly. Thank you. And also to everybody watching who is not an attorney like me, from my understanding, with a hostile witness, the only time you can treat a witness as hostile if it's a witness that you called. So if you call that witness and they're not cooperating, then you can treat them as a hostile witness. So we saw this happen with, was it Monk Tunk? I believe it was either Monk Tunk or someone else. I have to go back and remember. But either way, that's my understanding of a hostile witness. So all the defense can do is just try and ask very, very precise questions. No live court today. It was Woody. I couldn't remember if it was Woody or not.
Okay.
She said yes, she has very selective memory. It might have been all of them. I don't know. You're right, FFS. You were right. We're going to be attorneys by the end of it for sure.
Do you remember, I'm going to have to find it for a second. Do you remember Mr. Zachary telling you that Jeffrey's not involved in Donovan Thomas's killing?
I believe he stated he didn't know that it happened until after it happened.
Did he tell you, do you remember the prosecutor asking you about whether Jeffrey didn't give an F about Donovan Thomas's death, and then Mrs. Zachary giving an answer? Do you remember those questions?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That was actually Detective Dennis who said that Jeffrey didn't give a F. True?
I don't.
Your Honor,
Okay.
withdrawn.
She better not say horrible again. Y'all said she's about to get on Brian too? Sheesh.
Your Honor, can I play Jeffrey Williams 263D, as in David, and it's from a clip from the August 5, 2015 video.
Oh yeah, that's
Is
what
this
it
the
was.
thing you're circling back to, or is this the thing you were just asking about?
One more time? It's what I've been talking about just now. And that's
Right.
State's Exhibit 531Y.
And that's with regard to the question that's on the floor that I don't think got answered?
Right, I think that
Okay.
the Detective Gates said, I don't remember.
Okay,
I
I
don't know.
can, yes, you may. I can hear you.
You could just listen to this for us.
Yeah.
What, you thought they was gonna get y'all down there? What was Thug like?
Shoot, he know.
He didn't get no fuck.
I mean, he killed her he like, why did he kill Nucky? Like, but then down like they told
Let's
him
start
that
this
Nucky dead, it's a goal. They really would be holding back stuff.
Does that sound right? On what was played earlier today or yesterday?
That's what we played. Yes.
Okay, and that's Detective Dennis asking Mr. Zachary in your presence what was Thug like, meaning after the death of Donovan Thomas, right?
Yes.
And the answer, Mr. Zachary said, SHI, he was normal. Is that what you just heard?
Yes.
And then Detective Dennis said he didn't give no FU blank K, right?
Yes.
And then Mr. Zachary said, I mean, he cared, like why did they kill Nut? Like, but then I guess they told him that Nut said it's a go, they really be, and Woody really be holding back. Is that what you heard?
Sure. I think we all heard it.
Okay. So when the prosecutor was asking you earlier that Jeffrey Williams was, this is my word, insensitive. That's not what Mrs. Zachary said, right?
I object to the mischaracterization of anything that.
All right, well, the questions aren't evidence anyway, and he said it was his words, so overruled.
That he was insensitive. I don't recall hearing that.
And it said that, I guess, they told him Nut said it's a go.
Gaither is upset.
But they
She does
really
not
be,
wanna do
Woody
that.
really be holding back. And it goes on to Woody lies, or little Mr. Copeland, right? Lies to Jeffrey. That's what it was about, correct?
I don't believe he said Woody lies to Mr. Williams.
Arguing everything. Jeez.
Now, with regards to what you know from looking at social media, Jeffrey Williams put forth a rest in peace social media platform announcement, didn't he?
What are we talking about again?
January 11th, 2015, very early in the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning, you're aware that Jeffrey Williams paid tribute to Donovan Thomas, right?
I'm not aware.
You've never seen that posting?
Your Honor, the witness has answered, so I object to answered and assuming.
I'm not aware.
Can I refresh your memory with something? Can I show you the posting, or you don't know? You've never seen it?
Your Honor, I object to this testifying. If the witness said she,
Not testifying, overruled.
I don't recall seeing it.
Okay. Have it? All right, can Mr. Kokomo approach?
For the purpose of potentially refreshing the witness's recollection?
Yes.
Do you think that something might refresh your recollection, Sergeant Gaither?
He can show me, but I don't recall.
Sure you don't. And then he's gonna show her the video or a picture, and she's gonna say, "Oh well, I guess it would look that way."
Can you bring it up?
Yeah, they did put her on a ventilator or something.
Can you go up? Watch though.
Oh boy.
You recognize that social media
Your Honor,
posting?
I'd ask that that question not be the question, but whether her memory is refreshed as to whether she ever saw any
Thank-
social. Your Honor, would
Does that
the
refresh your
question-
memory?
Does that refresh your memory?
Hush.
Yes, but not in that context. Context that you're using it for, sir.
Okay, you've seen that posting before?
I've seen that posted on Nuts page before. Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I am moving for the admission of Mr. Williams' number.
Your Honor,
42.
I'd ask to approach and I'll
Okay.
tell the court why.
What you were just shown by Mr. Kokomo,
Yes, sir.
have you seen that entire posting before?
I've seen the photograph before.
How about the words underneath the posting, the words underneath the photograph?
I don't recall the exact words, but I have seen the actual photograph before.
Okay, I understand the photograph. Now, have you also read the content that went with the photograph if you saw that as a posting?
And Your Honor, again, I object based on what I stated at the bench.
Do you mean ever? Can you ask that more
Sure.
specifically?
Sure. During your investigation, or tell us at any time, not today, have you seen and read that entire posting before? That's my question to you.
I'm with Brian on this.
I don't
think the
recall
jury's
what any
gone.
of the captions stated for the picture, but I do recall seeing the picture before.
Okay, let's put aside the picture just for a moment.
Sir, I just answered that. I don't recall the exact words of the captions, but I have seen that photograph posted to Mr. Thomas's Instagram page.
I understand. Put aside the picture. Have you read, understand you don't have a verbatim memory, have you read that posting
Yeah.
that went along with the picture while during this investigation? That's my question.
Your Honor, number one, I object. The witness has stated that she's seen the photograph on
Wow.
Donovan Thomas's page. She has not seen the photograph in the context that was presented to
How do
her.
we know? This is inappropriate.
Sustained. You may re-ask the question. You overruled. You may answer that question if you know.
On your oath, have you
Let's get
seen
it
the
together.
photograph that you already identified?
She said sustained.
Along with that
Overruled.
posting, those words. That's my question. At any time during the investigation related to this case.
I have seen the photograph, and I have seen a caption under the photograph. I do not recall what the caption actually stated.
Okay. What you read today from Mr. Kokomo, is that refresh your memory of what you previously saw or read?
It does not.
All right. Okay, let's go to back to the interview on August 5. You were told
Come
by
on, Judge
Mr.
Whitaker.
Zachary that when people made statements to him about this murder and who was involved, Jeffrey had already left the condo. True?
Can you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry.
Mr. Zachary told you during the interview that the jurors heard, we watched together, that you were present for, that when Mr. Zachary was supposedly told by people that they were involved in this homicide, Mr. Williams had already left his condominium.
I believe that may be true.
With regards to
Crazy.
the bus bus tour shooting. It's April 26, 2015. Mr. Zachary told you that Jeffrey Williams was not involved in that bus tour shooting, of the Lil Wayne bus tour, right?
He said he was not there, yes.
Not there and didn't know about it until the next day.
Correct.
In fact, Mr. Zachary went further and said that Jeffrey Williams idolizes Dwayne Carter or Lil Wayne, right?
Yes.
I remember that too.
When asked whether Jeffrey Williams is the leader of a criminal street gang, YSL, Mr. Zachary said, no, he is not, right?
I don't recall asking that or hearing that.
Let me show you,
Come on, man.
give me 1 second. Your Honor, may I have a second?
You may.
I mean, essentially, I know it's annoying to watch it here, but she's doing them a favor because they're going to say, hey, you said this? Oh, I don't know. You're a professional and you don't recall this. It's fine. We've talked about it before. Let me show you. You recall now? Yeah, I guess. No court today. This is from yesterday afternoon.
No, I mean, if you want.
Come on, Mr. Kokomo, do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why she's still off camera after everything got leaked on Tuesday.
From same exhibit that's in evidence, Your Honor. Court's permission, stage 531Y. Mr. Kokomo's giving you the number.
He wouldn't even right on his start. Why I said,
Who started?
my brother and Slug. Taylor. Yeah.
What about DK?
They did it because they were around thug. I'm telling you who started it. Tay Slug and some, like 3 more of their friends. These people, they were all they grew up together who started. All them started. Then they Slug, he loved thug, so he put him, he told thug what's going on, and thug just ran with it.
Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
And in that section, that is Jeffrey Williams 263 G and H, and there was a break in there, I apologize, but that was continuous, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's where Mr. Zachary is asked whether Jeffrey ordered the killing of Mr. Thomas, right?
Yes.
And his answer is no, right?
Yes.
And you explained, I'm from Chicago, and that you need permission from higher ups. I'm not quoting, but something like that. And Mr. Zachary said, who said that his word is thug? I call him Jeffrey, is the higher. Remember that?
Yes.
All right. And then you said, that's just what I heard. And then Mr. Zachary said, he's not the boss. He's not the higher. Something like that, right?
Well, Mr. Zachary went into who started it. Just because you don't start a gang doesn't mean you're not a leader.
Yeah, but Mr. Zachary also told you throughout this entire meeting with you that Jeffrey Williams was not involved in the killing of Donovan Thomas. In fact, he learned about it later, right?
Yes, he stated that.
And that Mr. Williams...
Who started it. Just because you don't start a gang doesn't mean you're not a leader.
Yeah, but Mr. Zachary also told you throughout this entire meeting with you that Jeffrey Williams was not involved in the killing of Donovan Thomas. In fact, he learned about it later,
bad,
right?
y'all.
Yes, he stated that.
And that Mr. Williams was not involved, as we just said, in the shooting of the Lil Wayne bus tour, right?
Yes, he stated that.
And, in fact, that Jeffrey Williams rented cars for a lot of people,
Thank you.
right?
We're good.
I don't recall a lot of people, those words.
Rented cars for others. Do you remember that conversation? That topic coming up?
Not renting cars for others, no.
Remember Mrs. Zachary explaining that he and Mr. Copeland were in a rental car together?
Yes, and they spun out on the expressway.
And they got in the crash. And Mr. Copeland was the last person Mrs. Zachary saw with that car, the rental car. So I want to talk about the Infinity.
No, that's not what he stated.
He didn't say that?
That's not what he stated, no, sir.
What did he say?
Oh, she remembers
He stated that
though.
Mr. Williams gave the car to Nard, Shannon, Yak, and Doo-Wop, is what he stated.
No, he didn't.
He said that his manager rented the car, right?
Amina, yes.
And that he allowed others to drive the car, right?
And he went along to state the names, yes.
Okay. And also that he would let others use his cars. Did he not say that?
I don't specifically, that one part of it, no, I don't remember him saying that.
All right. The Sprinter van. Remember those Sprinter vans that we talked about?
Yes, sir.
And the Sprinter van, did you do any type of investigation or get any information when they were summoned, hired, rented?
No, I did not.